to counter it with a good take now. Come on. Shows how it's done.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was gonna go a little bit mild, and I was gonna say
Oh,
like I'm gonna
fucking hell,
mention
okay.
Astralis, but they're in the same, I guess, country, and I think that like Astralis, first of all, they should get rid of cadiaN. That's a must. But the hot take is that they should get Snappi from NIP.
Okay.
Simply because I watched the fucking games from Astralis in this event, right, in the PGL, whatever. And they seem to be like trying to kind of recreate this shit thing that was in Heroic made them successful, like, you know, just running around without any plan. Like, there is no teamwork. The op is Device, who is completely different opper than cadiaN was when he was actually opping, and it seems like he's not really play. It seems like Device is playing something different from the other guys, and the other guys are not playing well enough at the same time. Like, they're playing like shit. And the city side is terrible, you know, terrible. Everybody's running on their own side. The timings are off. The teamwork is off. The chemistry is obviously off. We saw that multiple times, even in Kato and you know, now. And it seems like, you know, the solution, number one solution, is to get rid of cadiaN. Like, I still can't believe they actually paid money to Liquid to get him to Astralis, but that's a whole other topic. But getting Snappi, who would be respected in that lineup, who is Danish, obviously, so the language is not a problem. Raga is an okay coach. I don't think he's some sort of a, you know, God's gift to the fucking coaching, but he's not bad. And he's definitely a good, you know, with social skills and like with players and stuff. So that's also good. Astralis has the money, obviously, to waste and, you know, spend and whatever. But he would implement a system in that team probably that would benefit way more than what they're having right now. The chemistry in the team would be completely different. The vibe around the players would be completely different, unless there is something between other players that we don't know about, which I don't think so. And overall, it would improve. I think also Device would like him, because the work ethic and like the just the mind that Snappi has for the game is, you know, much better than cadiaN, Huxi, or whoever from the Danish, you know, scene right now. The only one is this new kid from OG, the Krisen guy, whatever, from Mouse NXT.
Okay.
So, but he's already like in Mouse in OG project. So overall, their game would improve by at least 40 to 50% with Snappi as an IGL, especially because, like I said, Snappi has a good mind for the game, and on top of that, as an IGL, he doesn't require any resources, any spots, any crazy, like, you know, positions like some other IGLs have. He doesn't demand a lot of in-server. He doesn't take a lot from the players. He would just redirect all the resources to the relevant players like Device, Yabi, Stav, whatever, right? And instead of doing that, they chose this, and now it's just terrible. I mean, I've watched them. Even the day that we are recording this, it's a game against Pain, and I watched the first two map, and it's just like so. It feels like they're winning barely every single map. When they're winning, it's barely, but when they're losing, they just lose. And for me, there is no progress ever since like day one when cadiaN joined. Zero progress. There's no 1% that you can say, oh yeah, they're better than, you know, yesterday. Not a single percent. So something needs to change, and I would take Snappi probably because there is no one else. Also at not just because there is no one else, but overall, like I said.
I just haven't watched this new NIP enough to say if Snappi's on a redemption arc. I would assume so. I mean, I obviously liked how he called when he was with Ents. I felt like he was pretty clear. I thought we were gonna hit the nail on the head and he would make the leap to a team like G2. Obviously, he ended up choosing or getting offered a contract with Falcons, and it was probably at the time impossible to turn that down for the fact that you're going to get paid a lot, and also you probably thought that you were going to get some upgrades in a few of your.
He was literally told he would get
positions.
Nico.
Yeah, exactly. So he thought that he was going to get a completely different team.
Well, bait.
And I mean, like, sure, it felt like him and Zonic just never were able to like work together. It just felt like they were never really on the same page, and then we were getting a style that wasn't quite Ents, but wasn't quite old era Astralis, and so it just felt like it was soulless. And I would say, like, with Astralis today, well, I kind of hate it because I actually kind of like the take, because cadiaN is so bad at playing these sacrificial roles. He's really, really awful at playing with like an MP9 or even a rifle. He's just so subpar as a fragger. Like, I bet someone's going to pull up the numbers and be like, he's not terrible, but it's like, dude, even with an MP9 in his hands or whatever, I've said this, I think, on desk at this point. It's like, dude, he is the worst I have ever seen in tier 1 using an MP9. Like, he's the worst at using that gun, which is crazy because the gun is just so simple. And all in all, like, against top teams, he's like really.
Oh, by the way, his stats are absolutely appalling. By the way, if you just look at them, they're really bad, mate.
Yeah. Okay, so they actually are bad. So yeah, they are bad. So I mean,
like, put it this way, for this year on LAN, you know that firepower rating, he has 7 out of 100.
Yeah, there's a few IGLs that are like that are just really sad. So I'm not going to name any names, but
sure.
Yeah, there's
so nice.
Yeah. I feel like when that is there, there's no excuse for the calling to also be bad, because when I watch them play again, it's kind of, to me, I don't know, when I watch them Cassad, I just think it's like half old heroic, half trying to play the way Device wants to play. And it's not the all-in style where cadiaN used to be kind of a balls to the walls opper, and it was almost like he was using himself as like a sacrificial, like he's gonna get one kill, there's a high chance he'll get traded after getting that kill, but at least it sets up his riflers with the aggressive position that he takes. Like, they would do a lot of cool, like, gambly almost things with his op, and Device is just, I mean, he's more consistent. I would say Device is better, but it's just that cadiaN would almost just go all in on his kill, whereas Device wants to play a farther back style. And it's weird because it actually seems to conflict with the way that cadiaN wants to move his pieces around. And so it's not synergistic right now. So yeah, I actually kind of am on board with the take. I think Snappi would actually find more success with this kind of lineup.
What's funny is, this is actually one, if you notice, Cassad's style is, he only accidentally does the really hot takes. What he does is, he just does takes which do qualify as a hot take, Maui, because what he does is, he does do the ones where the fans don't think that. Like, I think loads of people in the industry, and loads of people who are actually, like, players, would do, like we were talking about on Snake and Banter with Nero. Like, if you're an IGL, we don't just give up on you because one roster didn't work. Like, you know, actually, if anything, I even told you, I think even Glaive can come back. I think anyone who ever had it as an IGL, it's just about what's your motivation, like, are you still trying to learn the meta, and then can you get the right pieces around you? So every fan does think like Snappi has to retire or be on a dog shit team now because of what happened in Falcons. But like, I'll just use the actual meme because it's probably the actual only good application of the fucking meme. So you know the meme that goes like, Mom, can we have McDonald's? Then she goes, we've got McDonald's at home, and then it's like the home burger. Bro, Boros was on the Falcons roster. So it's like, well, we got you Nico. It's like, oh, that's not Nico. It's like, well, this is like home Nico. It's like, well, that's fucking Boros. Like, what? First of all, mate, he's doing all the partying and he's not even doing the fucking MVP shit. Might have let a little bit too much out there, but whatever. Don't worry about it, mate. So I already think that people have been way too harsh with the Snappi angle. Like, all I'll say is this, bro, I think you could take most of the IGLs in the top 10 and give them that roster, and they would also all fail. Now, look, I will say Snappi looked like shit himself as well. That doesn't help me. Like, it's one or the other. Like, you know, do something that looks good in the game, like tack-wise, or, you know, pop off yourself. He didn't really do either. And I agree with you, Maui. To me, I would just speculate. I don't think him and Zonic have the same vision at all about CS. And I would imagine, look, I don't know which order it went in, but I would imagine it was probably something like one of them, like, it's like when you join a new team, you always do this, mate. One of you cedes to the other one's vision initially, then they don't like that because you don't get the results. So then you have the power grab of like, right, pull it back my way. Now it goes my way. And the problem if you do that is, unless basically one of you sort of dominates the other, the worst scenario is you just get caught in the middle and you've just got some like fucked version of both people's system, which doesn't work for anyone. And then also, by the way, unironically, you can't keep changing players every 3 months, so it's also never going to fucking work. But what system are you? But by the way, Blade keeps telling us for international rosters you need 6 months. And everyone else is like, no, it's been like 2 months. Kick that guy. Like, fucking hell, mate. Like, you're all telling me that guy's the best coach. Maybe listen to him for a minute or two. So on the side of the cadiaN one, I'll do that quickly. I agree. I actually think cadiaN in Astralis fucking blows. Because one, they aren't like some fucking awesome tactical team. They just actually win off firepower. And by the way, they win by like shooting people on CT side because they just have good players. Then also, he's not doing much tactically. Maui, he's actually dreadful in this team. Like, he wasn't that good in TL, but in TL, because he like forced the AWP around himself, you know what? He could still win like a 1v3 every now and then that you'd go, oh, that's not bad. You sort of won around, you know. He doesn't even have that because he can't AWP. help anymore. Like, bro, he's so out of his depth in this team. And I actually will even add to sort of the similar lens. I actually feel like he's actually getting nothing in this team, bro, because since he came in, I actually don't think they were willing to commit to that heroic style. One, I do not think Device would ever sign up to that, because I have heard, you'll find out about this soon, I've heard cadiaN's system is just listen to what cadiaN is saying right now. Like, that's it. There's no playbook. There's no, like, you don't get, it's just, here's what I just said right now and thought of play. If you think Device is going to play like that, it's the opposite. Even Glaive gave Device like the ultimate leash. He was probably the AWP that had the least control over him. He could just do what he wanted. So, first of all, I doubt you can even do that if you're cadiaN. And also, you're no longer the AWP guy, mate. You can't call it all around yourself. And then I just think with the rest of them, if you're cadiaN, it's, in English, we have a saying, Cassad, called the last chance saloon. It means, like, basically, if you don't succeed now, like, you're just dead, basically. cadiaN, I don't think, can even pull that shit anymore in this team, because, listen, people like Yabby and Stown, mate, if they don't like the way it goes this time, you're never coming back, cadiaN. You'll just be on Sashi Esports for the rest of your career if you can get on that team, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll just tell you a little detail right now. I even heard when he was in Liquid that, like, Fnatic didn't even want cadiaN, so there's a fucking little bombshell for you right there. By the way, if they don't want you, who the fuck does? That's why it's amazing. I don't know whose fucking cousin he is in Astralis, how he got in that team, because that's just what, he better be on that Scholes contract where you get 8k a month or something, because I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. Like, this is some bonkers shit.
I am pretty sure that, like, the way that it went there, it wasn't like Astralis' decision. I think they
yeah, I heard it was the org.
What the, you think it was the org about cadiaN?
I mean, I heard it, just put it this way, everyone thinks it was like Stown. I heard it wasn't, mate. That's what I heard.
I mean,
maybe
if I had to guess, if I had to guess, let's say it like that, I would think that the players were like, "What the fuck are we gonna do? We need the IGL. Maybe we can recreate like this fucking old heroic thing." That's just a normal course.
I believe it was actually claimed. Look, I don't know how much validity there is to this. I think like Striker or someone had some info and HLTV confirmed and said that like cadiaN wasn't even like the first or second choice, and then they just sort of like last minute had to just get him, assumably just before the roster lock and that shit. So it sounds like it was just like a fucking, you call it in English like 11th hour decision. Like you just have to figure it out before midnight hits. Like shit, we better just do it, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck it, it's a bad call. Waste of money.
And by the way, here's the other reason why. So he's not fragging. The tactics aren't good. And the last one, and this is the nail in the coffin, bro, is you would at least think, since 4 of these players have played together all that time, and then cadiaN's played with Heroic and with Yabby and Stown, at least they should have like sick team play. Do they fuck? Do they fuck, bro? Mate, when they fuck, if this team like falls back to like do a retake, I'm like, the round's over, mate. They're not fucking winning this shit. Like, they're not doing that like amazing Navi shit where you go in 3v4 and kill everyone because he's looking that way. They don't even do that. Like, the sad thing is, they really do just survive off the fact that like Device and Stown can still shoot people with guns, mate. It's still CS. So I think it's whack. So this is why I think the Snappi move is itself, you know, it's sort of a desperation move. But here's why I'll actually say I think it would not just be good. I think it would succeed. There's an obvious angle. We talked about this yesterday, Maui. Think about who Snappi's had as his stars in his career. He hasn't had many real stars, by the way. And by the way, he made every HLTV top 20 star he ever had. So here's who he's had, right? He's had Sun Pius, he's had Nerds, and he's had Spinks. Now, if you don't know, when he initially got Nerds, they literally did put him like in that lurker role like Spinks. So as you said yesterday, the actual best role in a Snappi system, is why they could never get it to work in Falcons, is star lurker. Bro, he would have Stown immediately the second he walks in the door, and then his AWP, like some he has the Danish Sun Pius. I always told you, like, Sun Pius is like fucking Device light. Like, he just have Device. Like, mate, I don't know. And that's also why I'm underwhelmed by cadiaN. Bruh, which of your teammates is shit? The Stair guy does everything for the team. Device is still somewhat Device, even though apparently he doesn't go to majors anymore. And Stown's actually good. And then Yabby, I'm not quite sure about. But like, this is like about the best roster almost you can make for Denmark if you weren't fucking there. So I'd do this move tomorrow. I think it's a good hot take. I'd take that deal. In fact, here's where I'd be even fucking a piece of shit. If I'm Astralis, I'd just go, you know what? Can I just do a trade? Can you take cadiaN? Why not? Why not, mate? Try not to even pay the buyout, you know?
Yeah.
I agree with like 99% of that. The only thing I would raise though is just that, man, I've been watching Stown lately, just kind of a separate point. It's like actually been kind of sad. Actually, I've like the eye test on him has been so bad. Like I haven't seen him win like a 1v1 in a while, like a 1v2, even if he's like the 2v3 guy. I feel like I'm watching all the, like, anytime I'm seeing Astralis at this event, I'm just like, Yabby's actually had more pop-offs for me for sure, but Stallion, watching him is kind of like he can't, like, his aim just looks so slow at this event. I don't know, like he does not look like he's locked in, and I feel like this Astralis team, I think they're thinking about some kind of change too, honestly. I feel like
should
like,
immediately after this event, just instant.
they don't, Stallion doesn't look
do it
like he's
today.
locked into this at all. Yeah.
Who cares?
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.